Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I came to a realization after that last Arthas loss. By the way, we're 1-2 right now. 1 win, 2 losses as we're progressing through all of the characters. I want you guys to keep track because I'm actually interested. I am going to lose track of it pretty quick though. I came to a realization that I don't play anyone on this fucking top line except for Abathur. And I lost on him. So my best chance of winning for like the next 10 characters or however many this is was Abathur, and I lost on him. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not an Azmodan player. Never claimed to be. Never wanted to be. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try really hard. And that's all I can give you. Wish me luck. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the battlefield of Eternity, one of the worst maps you can actually play Azmodan on. He's one of those weird characters that he scales incredibly well on small maps, which is why he's okay in Hero League, but when you bring him into quick match, you're either going to get a really good time on Azmodan or an uphill battle, let's put it that way. So we are going for Taste for Blood at level 1. Enemy is killed by your Globe of Annihilation's impact. Permanently increase your damage of Globe of Annihilation by 2. This is a very high skill cap build, and I want to reiterate again, I am not good at Azmodan. I will not play this build to its utmost. I will not show you new strategies and ways of improving your Azmodan play unless you've never played him before, and this is your introduction. I quite frankly I don't like him. He's not for me. And I honestly think that's a good sign of a healthy game. When every character, like, basically in the alpha for a long time, I liked every character. I could pick up and play any character. We got one! Any character in the game. And you may say, well, that's good. Why would not liking heroes be a bad thing? Because that means there's enough characters in the game right now to fit a wider variety playstyle than just what motherfucking Pallytime likes. And I'm encouraged by that. I'm not discouraged by that. We're going to go ahead and do All Shall Burn on Sonya as she was moving in. So our Q ability, Globe of Annihilation, incredibly long skill shot. We could throw it all the way over to their towers, right? Oops. Yeah, can't you tell that's such a long skill shot? We could throw that basically from our structures to theirs and deal some damage. But we're mostly going to be using it in the early game to try to get stacks here. I don't think I got that one. Yep, I've killed one minion with this. Azmodan is great on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and I just did a practice game, and I got Tomb of the Spider Queen, and I was like, sweet, this is going to be great, it's going to get me in a great mood, I can't wait to record this video now. And then my team was just bitching. Just bitching. We should be able to do a reasonable amount of damage with our All Shall Burn. That's our E ability, by the way. Tezande calls it the red spaghetti, so I might call it that throughout the course of this video. And then our W ability is Summon Demon Warrior. While all of this is going on, we are going to be summoning Demon Warriors up in the top, or Demon Generals. Generals of Hell. That's our trait, rather. General of Hell. It's going to allow us to push the top lane without having to be in the top lane. I picked kind of a weird week to try to do this, this whole initiative, or at least to start it. Because it turns out, I believe Sergeant Hammer is free this week, and okay, everyone always gets mad at me because I never know what's free. But I'm pretty sure Sergeant Hammer and I'm pretty sure Sylvanas are both free this week. Sylvanas is really good at stopping pushing aggression, which just so happens to be really strong on Abathur and Azmodan. And Sergeant Hammer is a phenomenal damage dealer and actually really, really, really good on this map. The main problem with Sergeant Hammer is that she's not mobile. So what ends up happening is if you have a traditional team comp in quick match, your team all of a sudden is incredibly stationary because of Azmodan and Sergeant Hammer. Sonya pushing in is going to put me out of there. We are going to get Gluttony. We're going to make sure that our E ability can heal us. It's going to help increase our sustain. Our only healer is Tyrande. I'm going to stay here and focus this down with All Shall Burn. And then, all right, we got the first objective. That's a good start. It's not incredible or anything. It definitely doesn't mean we're gonna win the game, but it's a step in the right direction. Let's go ahead and spawn a general up here. Maybe we can get this last hit. Nailed it. Got 2. Oh yeah. Those are going to help increase our damage throughout the game. If you have a good Azmodan on your team, time is your friend. The longer the game goes on, the better off you are going to be if they are capable of getting stacks. I like to refer to Azmodan as the gatherer of the spirit bomb. Once you hit 1,000 damage with your Qs, being able to deal 1,000 damage to someone every fucking 10 seconds or something is incredibly powerful. And another strength that this character has is just his ability to split push without really having to do anything. As you may have noticed, I looked at bottom lane for half of a second. I looked down there to put my trait down there, which is going to increase the damage of all these minions as well. It's incredibly powerful and incredibly underrated in my humble opinion. The enemy team now missing from the top lane. I would love to show you an easy way to farm these last hits, if she would let me. Please let me. Please just stop. Please just leave me alone. Okay, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna attack 3 or 4 times. Let's go with 4. We have to hit each of these guys 4 times. As you can see, it's a little hard to do when you have an aggressive person in lane with you, and then you throw out the dunk and you get the last hit. It's a pain in the ass. It's not a playstyle for me, man. I like the last hitting mechanics on the Zebo. Those are that doesn't alter your playstyle to last hit. You just kind of last hit. This is hard. This is a very high skill cap built if you want to actually get a lot out of it. You can play it with any skill level, but if you want to play it well, you got to put the time in. You got to learn how to farm all this shit. It's difficult to do. We are going to cast All Shall Burn, maybe not. No, I don't think I'm going to. We'll just summon in all of our Demon Warriors. The Demon Warriors, that's your W ability. They're really not the best. Really pretty underwhelming. The idea with Azmodan is that he's the general of hell, so, oh, I could summon in all kinds of demons to aid me in battle, and it's gonna be great, but the fact of the matter is your general kind of does all the work, and then your little warrior demons here do absolutely nothing. They just kind of walk into towers and soak up ammunition for you. That's really their main intention. One thing I want to bring to your attention really fast, we're just gonna sneak up to the top part of the map here. I know there's an objective going on, and I'm probably hurting my team right now. I also need to be very careful that they don't see me. Let's just do it anyway. One thing you could do on Azmodan that has just become apparent to the masses is you could just throw your wall, or throw your Q over a wall, and then melt the majority of sippy cups in the game. And I do mean the vast majority of sippy cups. Probably not the best time to do that. I just wanted to show you that mechanic because it's kind of amusing. And our Illidan may have just rage quit. That may have just happened. Sergeant Hammer in position to deal some siege damage here. We are going to cast All Shall Burn on this heathen, on this quote, immortal, and deal some damage. We're going to spawn our general up top, keep that moving in the right direction. So, Azmodan in the past, conceptually, he has not changed much. He is pretty much the same character that he was when he was released into the game. Illidan is back. It was just a coincidence that he died before he disconnected. But yeah, conceptually, he has not changed much since he has been added to the game. He has always been kind of this long-ranged, pet summoning artillery damage dealer, which is just about as weird as I think it sounds, right? But there have been a lot of little cheesy playstyles and bugs that have formed around Azmodan in the past. The dunk going out, not really strong enough to deal some meaningful damage to the enemy team yet, mostly just used to poke at them right now. The enemy team is ahead of us on these immortals, so if we want to move this in our favor, we do have to get pretty aggressive here. For instance, the week after Azmodan was released, or I believe in that time frame, within the first month, it was discovered that, if you take the increased shields on minions that Tassadar has, all of a sudden the shields don't go away on Azmodan summoned minions, and anything that Azmodan spawned would last forever, push forever, it would never fade, it would never die, and it would essentially be a ticking time bomb on the pacing of a game. An Azmodan and a Tassadar, for about a day, they fixed it really fast. They were able to win games by themselves without any help from anyone. We unfortunately have lost this Immortal battle. Looks like the Immortal is going bottom, so I'm going to make my way down there. One of the other cheesy strats, this one not actually cheesy, I actually liked it. When Abathur used to be able to use ultimates, you would pick up the ultimate ability on Azmodan that allows him to spawn in a ton of minions. And then you would use those minions in conjunction with Abathur to just completely swarm a tower with like 20-25 minions at a time that would completely overwhelm it. It would not be able to defend itself. It could not fire enough shots at all of the minions you were summoning to be able to stop you, and you would essentially just siege everything. I don't know what the cooldown of that ability is. It's 100 seconds, so every minute and a half, basically, you'd be walking in and just devastating every defensible structure that the enemy team has. And really, there's no counter for that, other than just walking up with your team and killing Azmodan. That used to be a really big problem in the past, and I think that's one of the reasons that Abathur had that mechanic removed from him, his ability to use ultimates. I'm pretty sure that's why it was removed. We're going to spawn our general up in the top lane and go back. We're doing terrible on stacks, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. Again, not a character I play. Not a character I play at all. We are going to try to help out with this, though. He is pretty low on health, so our help is probably needed. Sergeant Hammer coming in for a little bit of help, too. Hopefully it doesn't reset. No, we're good. The enemy team looks like they're grouping up in the bottom lane, so we're going to make our way down there. We did pick up the Black Pool at level 10, which is going to increase our ability power damage by 75%, which means we can do cool stuff like throwing dunks out now for significantly more damage. Kind of helps us last hit. So we are going to continue to try to focus on last hitting because that is our main initiative. But it's just not a play style that I find gratifying at all, to be totally honest. I don't enjoy it. That's why I don't play Azmodan. Is there any other cheesy strats? Oh, there was the promote things going on for a while. So at level 4, Azmodan, does he not have it anymore? I think they removed it. At level 4, Azmodan used to be able to promote a minion with his General of Hell trait that I try to keep using and I'm still not using enough. That would allow him to push lanes incredibly hard without having to do anything. Promoted minions before the change were even stronger, but promoted minions in recent memory, what they do, can move while casting. Look at that. What they can do is essentially you take a minion, restore it to full health, and then increase the amount of health that he has. I am dead. I am dead. Everyone's leaving? Yep. I'm not getting out of here. I'm not getting out of here. What went wrong? Illidan was dead for the millionth time. Is it free Illidan week? I feel like all the Illidans I play with die a lot. Like, way more than normal. Anyway. So, essentially, there were some cheesy-ass promote strategies. You would get a Tacit on your team, you would get a Brightwing on your team, you would get an Azmodan, and you would just promote push a lane, and the enemy team couldn't really stop it. Every single time a tower fired, it would be shooting into a minion wave that at least had one promoted minion in it. And this would allow your team to essentially siege completely uncontested. That was until Sylvanas came into the game. And all of a sudden, you know, she can freeze minion lanes. And then they actually changed that pretty quick after that, I think. The dunk going out is going to do some significant damage to the enemy team, but not enough to push them off of this, of course. Looks like we should just be ignoring this. Looks like Illidan died again. He's 5 and 6 right now. Maybe I should tell him to be a little bit more careful. The dunk. Oh, we're getting there. The damage is getting there. We're able to almost kill a whole lane with that, so that's going to start to add up pretty quick. The enemy team does gather this Immortal. I'm assuming they're going to be making their way up to kill me, so we do need to leave pretty quick. We do get one more last hit there, and I'm just going to scurry on out of here. Oh, the best part of Azmodan, though, is just the look on his face whenever he is on a mount. He's like, ah! I'm flying! Oh! Oh! That's my favorite. I'm not proud. I'll admit it. Can we get some last hits here? Yes, we can. I feel like Azmodan players fall into this weird phenomena where they're more interested in fucking minion waves than they are in the actual progression of a game. Whoa. Like right there. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. Let's try to dunk here. Should be some pretty easy damage. Throwing out, I think we did 700 to Sonya. I might be off with that, but we can dunk again here in just a moment. Unfortunately, instead of trying to deter the enemy team, it does make more sense to dunk the minion wave to get more damage. That was 592, getting a little bit higher now. Looks like, oh, Illidan not gonna die again. Can we get a dunk from downtown here? Maybe we can, maybe we can. We need the black pool. And then let's just throw this out. Oh, it didn't work. Whatever. We can kill this guy before our structure dies. Does Tyrande have a mule? No, she does not. Mules are a really, really good idea on maps that are only 2 lanes. Just general advice for you. We are starting to fall behind on siege damage, but if I do my job right as we progress into the late game, we will be dealing a significant amount of damage. The longer this game goes on, the stronger we get. So let's try to dunk here. I'm falling a little bit behind. That's how you can basically tell. If you're not able to kill a minion wave with your dunk, that means you're a little bit behind where you should be. Now, pros on certain maps, like the Haunted Tomb of the Spider Queen, that's what it is. So on certain maps like Tomb of the Spider Queen that are really small and they can dunk multiple lanes in a very short span of time, you are able to generate a ton of stacks very quickly. There we go. Some pros doing it, I believe, within 12 or 13 minutes, maybe even faster now, getting 500 bonus damage. Just to give you some context, I'm at 92. 92 in 15 minutes. That's awful. What do they have? We are gonna go for, I don't know. Let's throw out a dunk first. Let's go for blood for blood. I think we're gonna need it just for some self-healing here. Looks like Sergeant Hammer is going to get away. We could summon in our things. Once again, Illidan staying in a little bit too long is going to be taken down. And we are going to be pushed pretty heavily by the enemy team. Tyrande's dead. Illidan's dead. I believe that was the 7th death. Yes. Zeratul died there for no reason. And it looks like we may be in for a bit of hurting. Now, the Immortals are up right now. If the enemy team was confident in their pushing ability, what they could do is send one person back to deal with that, while the rest of the team... it was just barely. Just barely. I almost killed Sonya there. She got away with like a sliver of health. A 700 damage dunk was not enough to slay her. So, we have to make our way top and dunk this minion wave. And then we can head to the Immortal. Yeah, this just isn't for me, man. I understand some people like the challenge of building this up. I just don't find it enjoyable at all. The enemy team, of course, in full offensive mode. We need to defend first in the next wave. But, of course, our entire team is completely split up. Illidan just now leaving the base right now with Zeratul. Tyrande down, trying to defend ours. Defend? Question mark. Not a declarative statement, a question mark. As in, would you guys like to do this? That's what I'm trying to get at here. Again, super spread out. Not really any sense of cohesion here. Alright, here we go. The enemy team's starting to move in. We are going to try to throw out a dunk here on Sylvanas. Will it land? Of course it will. Oh, hitting Falstad and one more member of the enemy team there, too. That was a pretty damn good dunk. Now, they do have a burst healer. Can we block it? They do have a burst healer in Rhaegar. The only problem is their Anubarak is going to have a ton of healing from his ultimate as well. We are going to be able to take him down there. Fantastic. This is going great. We're going to use blood for blood on Sonya, take her out of the fight, and unfortunately, I am so I am going to have to recall. But we did well there. We pushed the enemy team back. We have numbers advantage for the next 34 seconds, and that should allow us to kill this. But for some reason, we're not attacking it. We're chasing a kill on Falstad. Okay, we have even more numbers now. Great. Now, unfortunately, instead of helping, I have to make my way down to this lane, and I have to do Azmodan things where I gather more stacks with my thing. Here we go. Well, shaboom. Look at that. We're back ahead of the curve. 800 damage. My goal with Azmodan every game is to just get this dunk up to 1,000 damage. Realistically, it's not that hard to do, but because I'm not good at Azmodan, it's a realistic goal that I can aim for in most games. So let's come in here. And Zeratil's just not helping with this, huh? We'll come in here with the red spaghetti. We'll try to focus this down as fast as we can. And we will get an immortal on the enemy team. They are starting to respawn, though, so they could come over here pretty quick. All right, not bad. Not bad. We've done 80,000 siege damage, 30,000 hero damage, and we've generated a fair amount of XP. One thing I'm not doing enough is using the general. I'm really bad about that. Every single 30 seconds, you should be throwing out the general somewhere. It's actually incredibly important. It helps you control pacing more than any other trait in the game, as far as where the other team is going to be forced to go. Illidan dying in the top lane. All right. Moving in down here now. Let's try to push with this. We're going to summon in all of our stuff. We're going to try to make this count. Top is not missing. Top is still there. So we're actually going to lose our top keep here if we stay. But we kind of have to stay, don't we? Is it going to be enough? Not with the ancestral healing. And we just lost our top defenses to Sylvanas and Falstad. Yes, it's definitely looking like we are going to lose this game. I'm not totally worried about. I'm not totally worried about winning. I told you guys I would try my best, and I do genuinely believe I have tried my best. I'm gonna die here. Nothing I can do about it. Hey, I'm going this way now. When I said I wanted to do this series, I was not aware that the first fucking 9 heroes were ones that I do not play. Probably more than that. I think Gazlo is the next one on the second row, which means I play Abathur and then nothing for the next 9 heroes. So that does become a bit of a challenge. A lot of people have been saying, God, Palatime, you're so dumb. You suck at this game. First of all, I'm sorry you feel bad about yourself, but I don't know why you're trying to put me down. Secondly, I'm not good at every hero. I don't try to be good at every hero. I'm not a professional player. I am an entertainer, and I like to think that I do that relatively well. At level 20, Filth Circle is what you guys actually tell me to take on a pretty regular basis whenever I do play this character. I normally go for Bolt of the Storm. Blackpool makes your basic attacks and abilities slow enemies' attacks and movement speed by 40%. So effectively, you're getting an attack debuff in there, a movement speed slow by 40%, which is equivalent to a mount speed. And I guess it's your kind of way of crowd controlling with your ultimate as well. I've never picked it up before, so we're going to try it out now. The enemy team in full control of what's going on. I'm sure you're not surprised. Let's try to move in here and make something happen. All right, we're going to put the pool under our butts, and we're going to cast All Shall Burn. We're dealing some damage, man. We're dealing some damage. Looks like our team being pushed out already, though. Let's try to throw a dunk up here. Unfortunately, most of the enemy team was in a VP there, and we still lost them. Illidan at the point where he's died so much, he's too afraid to attack, and he might die one more time here. Yeah, guys, it's not looking too good for us. I think this is gonna be it. But I tried my best, and I tried to be as informative about Azmodan as I possibly could have been, given my knowledge of the character. Like I said, he's just not for me, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Good game. As they kill our core, let's go ahead and look at our stats. We had the highest siege damage. Again, I wasn't really using my trait enough. Hero damage, we are just under 40,000, which is pretty competitive with everyone else on our team, except for our Illidan, who died just a little bit too much. Our Tyrande kind of went for a hybrid build here. No, she went for a supporty build, so that's fine. So, what have we learned? I'm not an Abathur player. An Azmodan player. We're 1-3 in this series, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hateful comments from people who never made it this far into the video. And unfortunately, that is the reality of what my job is. So, If you guys would like some actual advice on how to make this comp work, I'll put a link down in the video description if I remember. If I don't remember, maybe you guys can help me out. A while ago, we did a Heroes Unite episode for Azmodan, talking about how to couple him with another character and make him just the best he can be. And what we did was we played Johanna and Azmodan, and Johanna's goal in life was to help Azmodan get stacks. If you're not able to farm stacks effectively, it may not actually be your fault entirely. If your team is not actively helping you do this, it can be incredibly frustrating. These pros that I was talking about that were able to reach these incredibly fast stacking, they had a ton of help from their team to coordinate these in order to make it possible. It's not just one player who just knows when to hit Q at the right time. It's one player who just knows when to hit Q at the right time, with several people in every lane helping him on the perfect map to obtain this. As I mentioned, Azmodan is not that good on every map. This was one of the maps he actually does not excel on. I'm not saying that's why we lost this game, but it's definitely something that you have to contend with when you play him. I hope I was informative. He is great. If you want to play Azmodan and you're going in, okay, maybe don't play him in Hero League. Jump into a custom game with your friends or something. Try him out on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It is a blast. You can hit for so much by the end of the game. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Up next, we have... Is it Brightwing? Up next, we have Brightwing. Oh, yeah. Okay, bye.